From the creators of Murder Mystery and Negativity, here is a special holiday episode featuring the unsolved case of Ramsey. In December of 1996, a woman dialed 911 from her home in Boulder, Colorado. She told the operator that her 6-year-old daughter had been missing for about an hour and a half. Their Christmas decorations were up, carols were playing, and their home was just a few blocks away from the police station. But when officers arrived, they would not find the little girl in her room. In fact, they would never find her at all. Our story begins in the early 1990s in the small town of Boulder, Colorado. Real estate was expensive but scarce. So when Patsy Ramsey found out she was expecting her second child, she and her husband John moved into her parents' home to make room. By 1996, both children, 6-year-old and 3-year-old Burke, were born. And while Burke stayed at home with his nanny, began entering local beauty pageants. She was a natural performer with long flowing locks, big blue eyes, and an even bigger smile. She loved dancing and acting and, according to her mother, wasn't afraid of being alone on stage. But there was something creepy about the whole thing. While performed, the camera crew would pan away whenever the parents entered the stage. And most of the time, the audience was never shown either. Just silhouettes of people clapping and taking pictures as flashlights popped off in the background. But despite the strange circumstances, continued to win. And before long, she was a full-fledged child beauty queen. On December 26, 1996, the family gathered together to decorate their house for Christmas. An hour and a half later, Patsy called the police to report that was missing. When officers arrived, they were stunned to find no sign of forced entry, and none of the family members seemed concerned. They went about their evening as usual, eating triscuits, drinking white wine, and watching TV until 10 p.m. when Patsy allowed the detectives to search the house. What they found in the basement would haunt them for years. To this day, the actual crime scene photos have never been released to the public, but artist renderings show a pair of little feet bound with duct tape, a gag in her mouth, and bruises and cuts all over her body. When paramedics arrived, she was still breathing, but she died in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. Her cause of death was blunt force trauma and strangulation. The case immediately became a media frenzy. Headlines flew across the country, and the police were under immense pressure to find the killer. But the more they searched, the more confused they became. How did someone get into the house and then leave without leaving any signs of forced entry? Why did the family seem so calm when officers arrived? And how could such a brutal crime go unnoticed for so long? The investigation took a bizarre turn when the family attorney leaked a ransom note to the press. It read, "We will never, ever, ever get your daughter back. You must pay us for her to be returned. Call 1-800-222-121. But police soon learned that the phone number was disconnected, and that the ransom note was actually written on the back of a grocery list, which explained why the handwriting looked so sloppy. As the weeks turned into months, more and more evidence seemed to point to the Ramseys, but they always seemed to have an alibi. During the trial, prosecutors claimed that JonBenét's beauty pageant schedule was actually allowing the parents to travel and commit crimes against their daughter. But without any solid evidence, the case remained unsolved. To this day, the mystery of who killed Ramsey continues to haunt investigators, the public, and those who knew her best. Some believe that an intruder was let inside the home by one of the parents. Others believe that the parents staged the crime to collect on the insurance money. But without any physical evidence, DNA, or witnesses, the truth is, no one really knows. So, on this special holiday episode of Murder Mystery, we leave you with one final question. Who do you think killed Ramsey? And how do you think she died? The father, the mother, a stranger, or maybe even someone else entirely? Well, let us know down in the comments below. This has been a special holiday episode of Murder Mystery. If you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching!